Welcome to a new episode of What If with DJ Sak and guests on K-Poppin'. We've all done this before, sat there and asked ourselves or someone around us, what if? So a full hour of everyone's perspective on the what if of the day with our dynamic duo.
Hey.
Joel and Tia in the studio. What's up, guys?
What's up? Dynamic trio, because there's a doggy in
Yeah,
here.
Jello's here. And Jello's back in the studio. Hi, Jello.
Hey, Shadow. So that's the thing. Every time I see Jello, I always give him a different name. So it's like, it was like, what was it? Like knife or something last week?
Yeah,
and then now it's
weird.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Tia, it's not summer yet.
So to be totally honest, I slept over a friend's house yesterday and I was like packing clothes and then I was like, oh, it's nice. I want to wear this. It's going to be nice tomorrow. And I just packed it. And then it was either this or what I wore yesterday, which was a hoodie and like jeans. And I was like, no, let's just put the dress on.
I mean, you look great. You look stunning, but
Thank you.
considering how you're always the one that complains about being cold,
Yeah, really.
it's kind of ironic that we're both in long
Yeah.
sleeve shirts and you're not. It's not even like a short sleeve t-shirt. It's a tank top.
That's the first thing, I'm not going to lie, that pops in. It's going to be cold in there.
It's not really that cold. Usually it's hot in here for me. I mean,
It's they've been keeping it pretty cooler today to the fact that I'm not complaining. Normally, if I'm complaining, then the AC isn't turned on. Joel,
what you gotta say? Spit it out.
Joel.
Well, I got a lumberjack look. What?
No, it's not the lumberjack look.
Wait, the brand.
The brand is this 20 years old?
Okay, this is gonna be honest time.
Because this is Hollister.
How old is it?
Hollister.
This was my grandpa's. I don't know.
What?
Hollister. Do we still have Hollister?
I don't know about in the state. I think.
Do we still have Hollister? Is it still a store?
I mean,
'Cause
I'm
that
a
was
fly.
like Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister was the brand to wear when I was in junior high and high school.
When I was in high school, everything was Aeropostale and Abercrombie and Fitch. I'm not even lying with you right now. But I got this in the States. My grandpa said it was new, but although he might
No,
have...
it is new. I can tell that it's never been worn, but I just haven't seen.
I will bet you money that my grandpa got it for Christmas and it was sitting in his closet for 25 years and then he gave it to
Oh
me.
my gosh. And it fits you perfectly.
I haven't seen that Hollister mark on the clothing in so long.
I just noticed. I didn't even know.
No,
I just saw my checkers.
I was like,
and I'm
oh, it's really cute. Like, I was like, oh God, you got new clothes. But then I looked at the bird and I was like, oh my God.
Is it?
Is that? It is
lying.
Hollister.
I,
Oh my God.
I'm bringing it back. Okay. You
Oh,
know,
it still exists. Oh, it still exists. Hannah went there last weekend. Okay.
Oh.
okay, well, I'm ahead of the curve here. You know, everything
Yeah.
Korea's always, a couple years behind, but I'm bringing it back. You know, fashion is cyclical.
Yeah, no, it is. Trust me. My assistant writer, our Mangde, was wearing the exact fashion I wore in junior high the other day. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
She was wearing an oversized hoodie that covered her bum. So like mid-thigh with like legging type bell bottom type leggings.
Yeah.
That was a look.
The thing to consider and the thing that kind of hurts when you hear that is that they say fashion repeats every, 30 years?
Yep.
Which means he's...
Yep. I'm aging myself.
Oh, bring back Juicy. It's
But then
coming back
again,
soon.
it seems like it's a lot quicker these days. Because like I remember when I was like in elementary to middle school, I was wearing like cargo pants then, and then it came back like a year or two ago.
Well, no, but the cargo pants were also when I was in high school too. So that fashion just came back a little too quickly
Right.
for I think you, and then it just came full. Pretty much everything that I wore in junior high and high school is like, so the early 2000s, the late 90s, early 2000s fashion right now is everywhere. The chunky sandals.
I'm waiting for 3-piece suits and like the flapper coat. You know what I mean?
want like Peaky Blinders. I want
love
us to go
that.
back to like, the hats and the dresses and
I honestly don't think that's ever gonna come back.
I don't think so either. But to this day, no matter where I am, just a fun, like whenever I see a girl or a guy with especially like elderly men in Korea. A lot of elderly men that wear hats. And they take their hat off when they get in the subway or they come indoors. And if I see that, I'm just like, oh my God, that is like this. They don't have to be attractive,
It's
but
so
I think
like
it's
lomang.
yeah, it's so attractive. Like I don't find them physically attractive, but just like
That
he's like
action.
80 something years old, but it's the subtle things. Like he takes his hat off when he comes into a building. Doesn't matter if his hair is like hat head. He just he owns it, and he's wearing some type of like clean cut trousers. It's just I think it's just it looks so nice.
I miss that kind of like mannerism. But I say forget that and bring back like togas. Like I'm really into that. you know
Togas,
what
wait, I
mean?
know, I've heard that.
Like
What
the
is that?
ancient Romans.
No,
Or like
thank
the- you know what I mean? I'm into that.
You can go to Scotland.
That's a kilt.
Yeah, just have a kilt.
I don't think people wear kilts outside just like, all willy-nilly. Do
in
they?
Scotland they do.
Just like a daily? My daily kilt. What about hanboks?
Oh, Korea. But hanboks in Korea always had pants for men.
That's
they
true.
never went
That's true.
without pants. And even women. For women in Korea, like under our hanboks, we all had like
That's true.
undergarments that were longer, like capri type pants.
You know what though? I think I mentioned this before, but I went to Hangang one time and I saw a guy, he must have been in his 90s. He was wearing like the
Legit
old
hanbok?
white, not like, like a really
Oh.
decorative one, but like a
The inner.
everyday white, and then like the
linen one.
Yeah, like I was like, oh my God, I've never seen someone wear an actual hanbok. But I think, he was really old, so I'm assuming
He's
like
used to it.
he just was always wearing like that since he was a kid. I think that's pretty crazy that they're still
I love that. I love that culture, and I wish that we could kind of continue that culture. I know that hanboks are still very popular and like modern versions
Yeah.
of hanboks.
I want one so badly.
They're expensive.
I am
though.
wearing my modern hanboks. I made this one.
I say we
made
commission Isak to make them for us, and we wear them.
Boo, I'm like 2 years behind on my own wardrobe. What you talking about?
Money solves everything.
Well, I mean, if I can manufacture, maybe, but no, for me to, it's yeah, I've barely sat down in my own sewing
really?
room to sew anything. I have like a whole season's worth of clothes that I want to sew that I haven't been able to sew these days. All right, well, speaking of clothes, actually today we might be able to talk a little bit about a fun topic. So our what if for today is what if you were born in the Joseon Dynasty? So the reason why we bring this up is because in Korean variety shows, sometimes if there's like a drama that's popular or whatnot that was partaking in the Joseon Dynasty, they ask like, what do you think you would have been like the actors and singers and stuff like that? Like if you were to be born in that era, what like family background are you going to be in? Where do you think you would fit in? Where do you think you would,
Right.
kind of, or where you would like to be? Would you like to be a yangban? Would you like to be a part of the court? Would you like to
It's
be
so interesting.
right?
I
Like,
love it.
So there's a lot of things that you could, and even like I think it was Damiran or some other actresses who are not considered like Korea's like beauty standards, but she's like, oh, if I was born in the Joseon Dynasty, I would be considered like the most beautiful girl in the world because back then they had different
Yeah.
beauty standards.
Right.
So those kind of topics come up quite often in Korea as just kind of a joke and a very commonly asked question.
Right.
So we decided to ask the question for today. If you were to be joining the Joseon Dynasty, what would you like to do?
I have been waiting for this kind of topic for so long.
You have no idea. When I saw this topic, I was like, this is gonna be so fun.
We don't even need our skirt today.
I
So
have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And to answer your question, I got two answers. I got the realistic answer,
Okay.
and then I got what I want to be. The realistic answer is, as a foreigner, they probably don't like me that much. The other half is like, I would like to be. I don't want to be anything royal.
Okay.
I don't, because historically, I don't know.
It's doomed.
Yeah, it's doomed. So, I would
yangban?
like to be a yangban.
Okay.
Which is like what, like a aristocrat.
Right.
That kind of like a, well off. Certainly wouldn't want to be like a peasant or a serf or anything like that. But definitely something like that. Live in a nice Hanok complex. Ooh, it'd be so nice. How about you, Tia?
I don't know. I don't want to be the queen. I know that.
Okay.
I
No, we
don't want to be the
yeah,
queen.
no.
But I kind of think this is kind of weird. But since I've watched a lot of these types of dramas, I kind of think being a hugung would be fun.
Okay.
A what?
So like one of the second wives or one of the wives. I don't want to be the main one. Like that, you got a target on your back.
Baby
But like,
factory.
but something like that seems interesting. Or like my rule of thumb is never be the top, but right below the top. If you kind of get it. So like,
So you're not like getting targeted for things.
yeah.
Okay.
So if I was a man, I wouldn't want to be the king. I would be the guy that's talking to the king.
Right. His right
Yeah.
hand man.
That's my kind of rule of thumb.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you what I
Yeah,
think you would be.
Okay,
And I'm not being funny. I swear.
I'm more curious about
So, honestly, for some reason, like a Korean, what would you say it? Like a
Assassin?
no. Like I don't want to say witch doctor, but like
Oh
like a medicinal lady.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Like
What do you call that? Not a doctor, but like a
the Hanyuan type of
Yeah.
like you go to like
you go like
Herbalist.
The herbalist.
You go out in the morning, you pick little leaves out of the
Why?
thing. Because I don't, you give me a very like calming sense. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah, and what would Isak be though?
Okay, so this is a little bit more realistic, but this also falls back on the fact that I actually auditioned for a role that never came to be.
Really?
So there was this drama that was in production that I was going to be one of the main characters.
Ooh.
And the reason did you guys, and did any of you see Mr. Sunshine?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know how we still had, though that was quite a long time ago, it was based in actual events, right? So Mr. Sunshine is around what actually happened in Korea, though there's a little bit more of like a Titanic type of a love story in there. So if you watch Mr. Sunshine, there is a big clash of missionaries and
Right.
foreigners in Korea.
Right.
So the role that I auditioned for was to be a mixed kiseng,
Ooh, that would have been so
which would have
interesting.
been kind of fathomable because
Yeah.
Oh, but
back then there was missionaries and other foreigners coming in and out of Korea.
Right.
And so it would have been kind of
Yeah.
And you actually
natural.
auditioned for
I
it?
auditioned for it. They had the script and everything. I auditioned for it, and it was actually really we were about to get the green light to go. The only reason there was a big question mark at the time was because number one, the role, I was still in SM, and SM was worried about how much skin I needed to show in the role.
Right.
My manager at the time was the manager that gave me the most amount of jobs that I ever had. But he was like, no, it'll be fine. But it never went to production. But yeah.
Is that why? That you ended up rejecting it on your end?
No. It just that we were all on hands on deck for it, but just the production never
that
got picked
happened.
up. Yeah. So like they didn't have like everything laid out, and then they started casting. It was like they wanted to get a few investors behind the script before they started pitching it to people. So that's why they were auditioning a lot of kids at the time.
so cool.
But since then, I've kind of always wondered like, so if
No, but that's such a good idea. I hope someone like comes out with something like that.
right,
In the future.
it's
Yeah.
I never because when I auditioned, I was just like, that would never what. But then after watching Mr. Sunshine, I was like, how naive I was about Korean history, because
Right.
when you read Korean history from the Korean history books, you don't really highlight how much foreign
Right.
people were on Korean soil
Right.
at that time.
Missionaries were plentiful. back in the
Exactly.
day. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was
Oh, that's so.
So ever since then, I was just like, I think, it's probably because I would probably do something that I do now. I would love to do something in the arts. So the only thing that I can think of in the arts of the court is in that profession.
Well, if you that's true. I mean, but if you watch Mr. Sunshine, there is another mixed person who plays like an American
Yeah.
soldier.
Right, but I don't think I'd be a soldier unless
Yeah,
I was like some type of nurse or something like
Yeah,
that. But
I don't know. Oh man, that's such a shame. I would have loved to see something like that.
That would be so interesting. Maybe I think like you watching Mr. Sunshine and thinking that, I'm sure someone like
probably.
it'll come out eventually.
Probably. I'm hoping that if it ever does come out, that they have like somebody that has a pretty big bank account that could actually do a pretty good job for it.
Netflix.
Yes. Disney Plus. Come on, guys.
Oh.
I mean, even if JTBC could get behind it. But these days I feel that with the censorship in Korea, that's why OTT services are a little bit more popular.
Is that like if you got offered the role now, do you think you'd do it?
I don't think I would be able to do it, but I mean, if they would accept me, I wouldn't mind.
I don't know. We need more roles for half Koreans. I'm just saying.
It's gonna take a while. I think maybe 5. I think
it's the fact that more Asians are coming to the mainstream media, plus and I'm meaning like American
Right.
platforms. I mean, yeah, but to be acknowledged as a half kid is, I think, also a different concept. There was, I'm gonna have to come back to the name of the drama series that I watched. It's based on a book, but they constantly highlight the fact that the main female character is a half blood, and that was
I think I know what you're talking about.
Shadow.
I heard that they're adapting this. I know. I don't remember the name of it though.
No, the series 1 and 2 came out. I haven't watched season 2, but season 1, I loved it. Apparently, it's based off of a book. I watched it. Totally forgot the name of it. It's
mind.
Shadow something. But yeah, they highlighted the fact that she's half, and it was also posted a lot in the book, and so a lot of the fans were really pleased that they didn't try to wash that
Right.
out of the role. And I think the actress that was casted was also half.
That's important. Yeah.
I felt like I sent you an audition for this, didn't I?
I don't know.
I don't.
know
I
what
thought
it
I
is.
did. I don't remember. Oh, anyway, yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we're going to be talking about if I was to be born in the Joseon Dynasty, where do you guys think you would be in court or anywhere else? So we're going to dive into our skit of the day.
Shout out to Takanim for making me the king after playing a woman and all this other stuff.
Please bring me your best tone. Do you know how cringy this was for me to translate? I was cringing the entire. 저 이거 번역하느라 진짜 손발이 없어지는 줄 알았어요. I was freaking out when I was doing this because it was so cringe. But yeah, you guys get ready.
Okay.
So these two are supposed to be in the drama.
Oh,
Just think of that in the skit. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, music cue. Oh, the drama is finally starting. Okay, so is the king and our female lead finally gonna be getting each other? No, no, you guys can't just fall in love. I mean, at least he made a decent confession, but oh my god, forbidden love is just so romantic.
Through the busy day. Oh my god. You seem to seep in. I wonder what you are doing, how you are. If you've read the book I gave you. If you have, did it make you think of me?
I am to come when called upon and leave when told to. That is the task of a 궁녀. I have to stay away no matter what I feel. That is what my position means.
Oh, the king should never ever marry, or maybe could they marry a 궁녀? I know, love is lost in a situation like this. Wait, what? It's already a halftime commercial. 60 seconds. Oh, I swear 60-second commercials in between shows are just the longest minute in the world. Ooh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
I'm the future leader of this land. From Britain, apparently. I'll gain the power to change the laws. I want to help the people. All I ask is that you stay by my side.
Oh my gosh. I might be only a 궁녀, but I'm yours forever. I'll be yours until my last breath. I devote my life to serve you.
At least the drama writers are giving us, the viewers, a good taste of what it could be. But then why do they look so serious?
Let me rephrase that. I want you to be by my side. As a family, I am asking you to be my royal concubine. Please be mine by my side for always.
You know better than that. I can't be that for you. My purpose is to wait on you, for you, and that is all. I am more than satisfied to be that for you.
Do you not have any affection for me? Even the slightest? Will you not even give me that? Love me! Please love me!
Please don't. We need to end things here.
If that is what you wish, then let it be. I will never seek you again. But remember your crime of pushing me away.
Your Highness, please forgive me.
Wait, no, you can't end the episode here. How am I supposed to wait another week?
Arirang Radio.
Okay, I'm really curious. I know we have a lot to talk about today just with the experience itself of the question of if you were born in the Joseon Dynasty, like what ranking do you think you would have been born into? What ranking would you like to be born into? And I feel that there's probably some interesting material that you two brought into us. So who wants to go first?
I actually want to go first today.
You go.
So you mentioned how earlier the the 기준 of mi. So like what people thought was attractive was different.
Right.
There's actually a picture and explanation of the types of beautiful women.
So what beauty meant in the
Yes.
Joseon Dynasty? Yo,
I like this.
I like this.
This is interesting. So there's 4 different types I'm going to go through.
Okay.
They each have their own area, which is interesting.
Okay.
So like the first one I'm going to go is Seoul Min. So like a beautiful woman from Seoul. It's called Nang Nang. They have chubby cheeks, has kind of a high nose. Like the upper part of the nose is high. And their bottom part of this is kind of like chubby. So like,
Ooh.
it's thicker. And they have big ears and have very strong shoulders.
Right.
So there is a reason why big ears is considered attractive in Korea.
Oh, why is that?
Buddhism.
Ah.
It's like good luck.
It's
they
good
say.
luck. So if you are born with bigger ears, then they think of it as like Buddha ears. So
Right,
Buddha's
see,
ears
it's
are
big
really
ears,
big.
yeah.
So yeah, it means it's good luck.
Really?
Which is interesting because I know of it as that way too. But there's another type where if you have small ears.
Oh,
So this one is Pyongyang. So this is like from Bukhan.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, from the northern part of Korea.
Gaewol is the name of this. They have a kind of like a sweet potato type of head. So it's
Okay.
like kind of like a diamond, I guess.
Okay.
And they have a little bit of like chubby cheeks. There's fat on them just everywhere a little bit. They have very big cheekbones. And they have a very thin kind of like end of their face. So like their chin is
chin's-
very like
oh.
pointy. And they have big ears. So they kind of look like apparently Cheju.
Okay.
The
Oh, okay.
And then we have the Changsong. So this is it called Jiseon. And they have big eyes. This is the one I'm closest to, I think.
Okay.
Big eyes, long eyebrows.
Okay.
They have a big forehead.
Oh.
And they have a kind of small nose.
Joel, why are you taking your face
I'm
out?
just seeing how long my eyebrows were. Leave me alone.
You're not going to be in here.
I know. I'm just saying, man.
He's like, okay, am I pretty?
I just wanted to check, make sure.
And she has kind of just very slightly chubby cheeks.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like Song Hye-kyo.
Okay. Ooh,
So
okay.
that's the type that she would be put in. And this is the interesting one. I left this for last. This is Jinju. And this is what they're talking about. Like, it's different than these days.
No.
So she has a short forehead,
Okay.
Okay.
but it's long.
Okay.
So it's short and long. She has long eyes.
So like a little bit of a broader face.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
So not like a long face, but more of like a
Broader.
broader
Okay.
face.
Okay.
But actually, it's both. So, like, the length between her eyebrows and her eyes are also very, very big. It's wide. And the length from her eyes to her nose is also very long. So, in general, it's a very long and wide face.
Right.
And she has a very, what is this called? Like, injung? Your.
Fluff.
There's a technical term that I don't know what it is, but it's
Flarantrum or something.
between your lip and your nose.
Yeah.
Indent.
That's very, very short.
There's a term for this, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like it starts with an F, I think.
So, yeah. It's kind of, honestly, I feel like the opposite of what Koreans like these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the picture. Her head is very square. You see, like
Yeah, it's very square.
very square. Everything's just very square. And
It's more
like,
rectangular.
But I feel that for a lot of times in history, somebody who had a little bit more meat on them, facial or body wise, was considered wealthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course,
Right.
yeah.
Where nowadays it's
Everyone
the
wants to be
opposite.
stick skinny.
It's opposite. Well, it just in general, if you
Yeah.
see the a lot of the countries, it's the lower you go in the society, the bigger the people. And now, it's completely opposite.
Yeah.
You know, what I think is fascinating about this, I don't know, like, because this is like you got like Seoul and Pyongyang and like all these places, right? But when I asked like 어르신분들, they always told me that the people that now live in currently North Korea were always the most gorgeous.
I heard that
They
too.
always told
I
me
hear
that.
that. I
You
hear
know what I
that.
mean? And they're probably biased. My mom says people from Daegu are really pretty, so I don't know. Like,
Because she's from
I mean,
Daegu.
because she's from Daegu, but I mean, that's what she says.
Well, but I feel that in regional aspects, Pyongyang's area is way colder than Seoul is,
Yeah.
and in Korea used to be. We used to go all the way up into some of the southern parts of China as well.
Right.
So, when we're talking about like the Joseon Dynasty, like the geographical brick was a little bit different than it is now.
Right.
But I mean, even if you watch this haguks, like they always say like the capital women are always so pretty and stuff like that.
But that's like also because they get more care. Like they
Right.
they think about it more
Right,
because
right.
they're in a capital.
right.
So I wonder, like, just based on appearance alone, like if you like pulled somehow a bunch of people from like Joseon Dynasty and made them watch a sageuk that takes place in Joseon Dynasty, if they'd think that the people in it were ugly or if they were weird looking.
I think they would say that they were weird looking because
Yeah.
these days, double eyelids in general
Yeah.
are way too common for
Right.
Koreans. When, I mean, yeah, we probably saw it, but even looking at the pictures, monolids were what Asians had.
Right.
Not one of these pictures has.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
monolids.
I mean, my mom's side. So my grandfather he kind of had, if he was a girl, my grandfather on my mom's side had a really wide, like, forehead, kind of almost square, like the one that we
Okay.
see there. But he looked mixed because he had double eyelids, even though he's 100% Korean.
Oh.
So I don't know if my family tree has a little bit of Mongolian, maybe like mixed into it in the bloodline somewhere in our ancestry
Which is
pool,
very
which is
possible.
really
Yeah.
plausible. But yeah, so my mom looks exactly like my grandfather on my mom's side, while my aunts all look like my grandma. And like the characteristics are very different. My grandfather had very high cheekbones, deep eye sockets. So his no fat around here, just very deep eyes, double eyelids, square jaw, very manly, pointy
Wow.
chin, broad shoulders.
Real question is, how long was his eyebrows? That's what I want to know.
They were pretty long.
Okay.
They were pretty
You
long
might be-
if I think
you might be
about it. If I trace my family tree all the way back to the Joseon Dynasty, I'm really curious as to where we would be.
You know, I wonder. You know how like in the States they have that genealogy, like you can send
The
your
ancestry,
DNA.
yeah.
Does that? Can you trace it here too? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Not detailed.
Right? Because they don't
There-
have that kind of thing here.
No. Either it was the BuzzFeed team or one of those teams that have like their own channels. Some of them did. And the Koreans there found out there was like a little bit like 10 something percent Japanese, like 5% Mongolian.
Oh, yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
They can get that. But other
Yeah.
than that, like, I don't think you can trace the Korean ancestry.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I don't think we can go back to our hojoks and like, find all of our grandparents and like what family tree we're under.
From what I've heard, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but apparently my family way back ago, they were actually from China.
Oh.
So they were like in the royal Chinese family, apparently, like way back. And then they
Qing.
came here and then they lost all the money. But
Is the story?
it happens. It always happens.
You know, what? Oh, sorry. Never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, we just all said it happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick song break. This is a request that Tia brought in. Blackpink.
So it was How You Like That by Blackpink. And I chose this because the outfits are so beautiful in this music video with the modern hanboks. I really want to buy one of these.
I interviewed the
Designer.
designer.
Really?
Oh.
I remember this.
I interviewed the designer. She's doing really good for herself too. Anyways.
Modern humble lady. I think I've seen this actually.
Yeah, I'll send it to you
Yeah.
later. We are talking about if we were to be born in the Joseon Dynasty. I don't think that Jello would be able to be that close to you if he was born in the Joseon Dynasty.
I don't think they had that type of dog back then.
I don't think. Well, they did, but they probably. I don't think that England was able to bring them to Korea at the time. Okay, so Joel, what did you bring?
All right, so I can't even believe that there is a survey like this. Like I don't even.
I told you that this is asked quite often.
I mean, I know, but I mean, like they got really, really, really deep into the details here. So I was like, okay. I mean, even if you know history, like. Let me just explain what it is.
Okay.
So basically, if you can go back in time, what period of Korean history would you go to? That's why I'm like, okay, this is like a really interesting survey. So basically, more people than I thought would said the beginning of Korea or Gojoseon.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly why they would want to go back to that time as opposed to any other time.
Maybe they're curious
I mean,
of how it started.
And technically, we had more land back then, apparently.
that can't be why though. I mean, the quality of life could not have been that good.
But but still, I mean, to be at the beginning of the whole.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what
I guess
mean?
so. 9% said the Three Kingdoms era, which is when Korea was split into 3 different kingdoms.
Oh,
that's-
삼국지.
Yeah.
That
Samji.
sounds like a
That's-
headache.
Oh, that was a lot of war.
Yeah, there was a lot of death.
There was a lot of war and a lot of death in that era, but okay.
But 9% of y'all want to go there.
Why?
I have no idea.
I think it's because 삼국지 has been so like China has their own rendition of it, Japan has their own rendition of it, Korea has our own rendition of it, and it's still such a highly talked about era in Asia.
I feel like it's fantasized. A
Right,
little.
right, right. There's so many fantasy drama. There's games based on
Yeah.
this as well. So
And also, I think the way that Korean regions are so distinct, like a lot of that is carried on from that time.
Right,
So
right,
people
right.
have like, I'm from here, and this is
Right,
that kind
right,
of thing
right.
too. So, yeah. And next is 15.9 at Unified Shilla Dynasty.
okay.
Okay. Then after that, the number actually isn't on here, but it says it's Goryeo
Okay.
Dynasty, King Taejo, and then this.
I wouldn't mind Koryo either because the attire was really pretty. I know that Joseon is a little bit more of the hanbok that we know now, like the chogori and like the shorter ones, and like a lot of the ones that we see now, and we're more accustomed to into a lot of this haguks. But even though it does overlap a lot with like the Chinese fashion, I feel that Koryo's fashion is also. If you watched Scarlet Lovers, right? 보복영심도.
Oh,
아이유.
Yeah.
That's Koryo.
I want to go to Korea.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
With
That's my
Lee
favorite.
Joon-gi and 강하늘,
I loved that drama.
right?
Really?
I
So that's why I was like,
loved
oh,
it.
Koryo. I kind of
Yeah.
like I kind of like the clothes from Koryo too.
But I don't know. You're a regular person. I mean, I don't know.
It was just a lot of layers with really cool belts.
Sounds hot.
Yeah,
Like
no.
hot.
No,
like,
no.
Like temperature
No,
hot.
no, no. It's like hot, sexy hot.
And 32.6% said Joseon Dynasty, which is where I would want to go because it's you at least you get some modern amenities. You know
Is
what I
that the highest? I think that's the highest number so far.
mean? Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
wants to go there.
And that's it. And then after that, it's just whatever's recent. You know? We don't want to talk about the rest.
But I feel that right now the Joseon Dynasty, we have more logs of the Joseon Dynasty, and I feel that's probably why we have more material drama-wise. Over the years, we've been focusing on that way more as well.
And like I think is really. I follow this Instagrammer who takes old pictures and videos from Joseon, the Joseon era, and you know with AI stuff and all that kind of stuff, you can completely like, make it look like a modern photo. And I follow this Instagram, and it's so fascinating to me because the pictures look so recent because they've been upscaled and stuff, but it
I
was
wanna
like
see this.
150 years ago or more. So it's like you get to see it. To me, it feels strange because it feels like it's now, but it wasn't, and you can kind of relate to it a little bit better. So that's why I'm so familiar with Joseon as opposed to Shilla or Goryeo or any of these other.
Right. I out of all the things that, since we're on the topic of like the Joseon Dynasty and stuff like that, I'm really thankful that Korea has been able to at least save our palaces
I agree. I agree.
and a lot of the other historical monuments.
I've
because-
been to like every palace, and we were this close to losing the majority of them, really close, and they're still restoring some of them now
Right.
because they were almost some of the like Gyeongbokgung was almost completely destroyed,
Right.
And they're still rebuilding it after all this time. It's unfortunate, but yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It's really interesting, and I always love the fact that majority of our palaces, especially are in City Hall, and it's really cool how modern skyscrapers meet our palaces. It's just and it's
interesting.
still there.
Like looking at the palaces in pictures and then seeing it right in front of you, it feels different.
It does.
Like there's something like very grand about it. Just thinking that like way back then people built this with their own hands.
right, and it's still here.
Yeah.
Like our ancestors lived. It's not like we're paying an entrance fee to go in. They lived here.
I know. I think it's so fascinating to think. Okay, I'm gonna get like really corny, but like if you go to like Gyeongbokgung or any of these palaces and you just like walk around, you're like, imagine everybody that passed under this gate, over these hundreds of years. Like I don't know, it's really fascinating to think about to me.
You're an N, aren't you?
Yes. I had to think about it for a second. Yes. What does that
So
mean?
S and N's. Tia, you said you're an S, right?
I was an N. They're pretty much like 50-50.
Right.
Yeah.
So the N's are the ones that like would do like, oh my God, think of how many people have passed under this pathway. How many have walked over, the step, and that kind of stuff is where the yeses would be just like, it's hot today. Like, can we go get a drink of water? Like that would be the
They're more
extremes.
like,
That would be the extremes where you would go under the same thing, be like, are we there yet? Like,
Yeah, like there's no fantasizing.
There's no fantasizing. It's just like, why would you think that? Like, why sit here and ponder about how many people passed under? It's just a doorway. You know what I mean? Like,
I find myself thinking about that. Tia, I'm never going anywhere with you that's historic because you'd be like, it's just a door. Shut up. Like,
It's what's so funny though is I get like 50-50 on my test. It really depends on my mood. So like sometimes if I'm in like a great mood, like, oh, this is so lovely, like I wonder like what happened here. And if I'm just a so-so mood, like, okay, yeah, where's the next place we're going? Let's just go.
all right, well, if we
It's
ever
a
go
door.
if we ever go to Gyeongbokgung, you need 8 hours of sleep and a shot of espresso, and then we're going. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
this is not on our questionnaire today, but if we could, because obviously the Joseon Dynasty did not have running water.
Okay.
A lot of the things that we think are very common these days are not going to be there, necessities and whatnot. If you could bring one modern technology to the Joseon Dynasty, what would you want?
It was pretty dangerous back then. The answer is machine gun, just in case. But the real answer, well,
We had guns back then, though.
yeah, they were like
Yeah.
muskets, though. I
Yeah,
ain't
we
got
had
time for
muskets,
that.
but yeah.
500 rounds a minute, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
It's ironic the Koreans never really adapted the gun thing even then.
Yeah, no.
Even watching Mr. Sunshine, we never really stuck to guns.
That's true.
But I think also it's like in retrospect, Korea opened up very late. Also,
That's true.
compared to like Japan.
Right, that
and,
is
you
true.
know, so
That is
that might
true.
be why.
I mean, the question you're asking me depends on what level I am. Like if I'm living in the
I
palace.
want running water. I don't
or-
care about anything else, but running water I think is going to be
I was thinking that, but like if I'm in the palace, someone's getting that water for me anyway, so I would prefer that over a shower.
I can do you better. I would rather have a refrigerator than
running water because of the toilet.
I mean,
I
don't-
mean, but if I'm rich, they're doing it for me.
Yeah, that's true.
that's true. You just,
But I don't want to sit on a pot,
That's true.
and do my business.
Yeah, let's say toilet. I want a toilet.
what about a refrigerator? That's really useful.
If I'm rich, I don't gotta care about that.
I mean, I guess, but
I love how Tia's
Tia just
taking
throws it
that.
to the wind,
I just
like-
want to be rich. I
if
want to
you're
be born into another class.
if you think the princesses are thinking about running water and refrigerators,
That's true. That's true.
a car.
That's true.
No.
That's
I
true.
get picked up in a little car.
And what do they call those? Not a rickshaw. What is that thing that they
the carriages.
The comma.
Comma.
yeah, like four people have to hold it
Comma.
up. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Tia's will Tia, I guess.
We're gonna find out what we're talking about next week.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Our What If. Don't forget to catch us on the weekdays from 2 to 3 p.m. Korea Standard Time on a Wednesday. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to check in next week.